Clustered, regularly interspaced, short palindromic repeats, or CRISPR, will change all of humanity and the nature irreversibly forever. This could be the final step of evolution, as we humans will be able to play the role of God and put an end to natural selection, maybe forever. This is one of the biggest turning points in our history, big enough to be comparable to agricultural and industrial revolutions. But the best part is, we will live long enough to see it unfold. We are on the verge of writing history, ladies and gentlemen. So prepare yourselves for a new era in human civilization. Hi, my name is Alex Beatrice and you're watching Here's Why. If you share my passion for learning new things, please like this video and hit the subscribe button. Thank you. Most people have no clue what genetic engineering is, but with the help of this technology, we will no longer be at the mercy of genetic determinism. No longer will we have to go through incurable or hard-to-cure genetic diseases and disorders. Genetic weaknesses and disabilities will soon become history, and together, we will rise as a super species, ready to step on new planets to conquer and colonize. CRISPR has the ability to cut, replace, copy and change single or multiple genes. If this procedure gets done on human embryos, it may have the ability to permanently stay in the human gene pool and get passed on to future generations. Now, fixing genetic disorders is only the tip of the iceberg, and it will not be limited to that. After a while, when people lower their guard towards this new technology and see how beneficial it is, they're going to demand for more customizations. Since CRISPR is able to edit the genome of live cells, it is totally possible that we could change some of our own features. You may want more muscles, less need for sleep, more stamina, and a different hair color. After all, who wouldn't want to enhance themselves like this? Maybe just a few skeptical people, of course. But these changes will be more pronounced for unborn babies, since their bodies have not developed completely. We may not be able to change the skeletal structure of a fully grown human being, but we may be able to do this for our kids. Now imagine the year 2100, and entire generations of genetically super enhanced humans roaming the earth. I'm talking about people as tall as 7 feet, super jacked and muscular with Einstein levels of intelligence, who will never get tired, fat, or ill. It sounds more like a science fiction movie, but it's not that far from becoming a reality. In fact, we've been tinkering and messing with genes for thousands of years without fully understanding how it worked. But now we do. Selective breeding has helped us have better and more resistant crops, better tasting fruits, and stronger, faster, and more intelligent dogs. The fact that we choose our own partners based on certain looks and physical features is a kind of selective breeding itself. For instance, notice how most Asian people have a certain shape of eyes. It's because of sexual selection, also known as selective breeding, because the almond-shaped eyes were perceived to be more attractive. Now, if we have already been doing this for thousands of years, then why use CRISPR? The answer is simple. CRISPR makes the whole process incredibly faster, easier, and cheaper with surgical precision. However, it is still in its early stages and has a long way to go before it's ready for commercial and widespread use. But despite this, a Chinese scientist named He Jiankui has experimented on human embryos, and the result was the birth of 2 twin girls whose fates and whereabouts are unknown. Even though he claimed that the 2 girls were completely healthy, his own reports, which he himself failed to fully understand, suggest that the girls had multiple wrong edits and mutations in their DNA as a result of this daring but unprofessional experiment. The biophysicist who did this was sentenced to 3 years in prison in 2019 for violating medical regulations and was released in 2022. Although this story might sound scary, CRISPR holds unimaginable promise for the future, and there are already many clinical trials in progress to treat serious diseases like hemophilia, cancer, and leukemia. Now let's see how this works. Look at this cool animation made by Nature Video Channel. CRISPR, first discovered by Francisco Mojica, a scientist at the University of Alicante in Spain, is an adaptive bacterial immune system that keeps a copy of the invading virus's genetic code so that the next time the same virus attacks, it knows where and how to delete their DNA to fight them. It does this by a large protein called Cas9. that scans the bacteria's DNA to see any of its sequences match its copy of the virus's DNA, which is also known as the guide RNA. Now, there's more in-depth information on how this whole process happens, but it will require a video of its own, and you can look it up if you're interested. I will leave a few links down in the description. With that information in mind, we now know the potential for gene editing is almost limitless. However, many ethical and scientific questions are yet to be answered, just like every other new technology out there. But like it or not, genetic modification has been an inseparable part of our life for a very long time, and it's about to get even more interesting. The cures for cancer and HIV are only the beginning.